The coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am? Is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror, because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans, listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump.
If you scroll down social media and check the average racist timeline and comment section, they'll try to make you believe that it's the blacks, the Mexicans, or the Chinese communists that's leading to the downfall of the whites in America. But the actual truth is, you guys have always been mediocre and just had the benefit of oppressing everybody around you. What you're starting to see is the fruits of a people that have never had to compete for anything. What you're starting to see is black people that, just like Jasmine said, has always had to work 10 times as hard just to get to the heights we reach, closing the gap. And their response to that is what it's always been. They lash out.
The great replacement of white people is far more sinister than any redistricting project. That is at the core of the Democrat project, at the core. And Jasmine Crockett is just some circus act in that entire operation. But it's deathly serious. You shouldn't take what she says seriously. It's just a joke. What she represents is very serious, which is the continued attempt to eliminate the white population in this country.
Dear white people, it ain't nobody else's fault but your own. You're the biggest contributors to your own decline. Stop playing the blame, shame, victim game. Soft times make weak people. And while you guys was getting fat and taking your foot off the gas, everybody else was working and learning. Because our excellence isn't an option while you guys' is. And here's where they keep missing the boat. And you just heard Charlie doing exactly this. Y'all so focused on us that you're missing out on training your next generation on what they need to do to beat their contemporaries without a handout. It's time y'all stop complaining and being victims and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. The days is long, but the years is short. And every day y'all spend complaining and obsessed with us and spewing these lame ass fixed stats to try and make us look bad is another day every other race is slowly but surely closing the gap on the hundreds of years of a head start you've had. And here's another thing. Y'all so lazy that instead of innovating new tactics, y'all still using the same shit y'all was using before I was born. We've caught on. Get some new tricks. We got too much access to real information to fall for that same outdated bullshit and propaganda. It worked when everybody only had one news channel to watch. Shit's so terrible the kids that look like you ain't falling for it.
If you seriously believe the 13% of the population and 50% of the crime, you need to get fact-checked, and I'm about to do it to you. In 2016, white people committed 70% of the convicted crime, and black people only committed 27%. Then in 2017, white people committed 68% of the reported crime, and black people only committed 26% of it. And in 2024, white people committed 53% of the reported crime, while black people only committed 25%. So this narrative on 13% of the population, 50% of the crime is wrong. You know who actually commits 50% of the crime? White people. But guess what stat black people are 13% of the population and 50% in? Exonerations. You know, when they're wrongly convicted. All you're doing by spreading this fake fact is allowing more people to profile and be racist towards black people. You know what's the highest percentage of people who are victims of white people? Black people. And if you look at all the shootings, guess who are the shooters? White dudes. So let's all think long and hard on who actually commits 50% of the crime.
Then they got the nerve to talk about DEI hires and how they just be taking terms, flipping it and giving it a whole new meaning. But by the white supremacist definition of DEI, they've been the greatest beneficiaries of it. We all know historically who hasn't been qualified but gotten the jobs and opportunities anyway.
Are you afraid of competition?
I am not afraid of competition. Competition can be good. That being said,
Are you
what's
afraid
great?
to compete?
I think
afraid to
actually,
compete?
hold on. Are you afraid of some other television station beating you? I mean, you're not. Okay,
You know why? No, you know why?
Because you're confident. That's
No,
great.
not just confident. Because see, I have skill set. I understand what I do. See, but what you're telling me
That
is
sounds like confidence.
No. What you're telling me is this here. Richard, here's what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. I'm not a psychologist.
Can I finish my point?
But you're afraid. You are afraid that you now are going to have to compete. You've had such a head start. You've had an 80-yard head start in a 100-meter dash, and now you're upset that people are catching up.
Sure.
Why are you so afraid?
Sure, everyone likes to win. But to be honest, in terms of Donald, what's great about Donald Trump is that he hasn't been saying, oh, this is great global competition for all Americans, let's do it. No, he's actually said, I care about my people first. I
Who's
care
my
about
people?
He's referring to all Americans. When he says, my people first, America first, what he's saying is that he is going to help the people of this country first.
But you don't
He's
want
not going
that.
to throw them out to the wind.
But you don't want that. You don't want.
Yes, I do.
So you don't mind blacks and Hispanics and Asians, Native Americans getting jobs, doing well. You don't mind that?
Of course, I don't mind that.
Okay, but you're so concerned that oh my God, whites are not getting hired when that's not true.
It's clearly whites are getting hired. My claim is that effectively every major institution in this country, from governmental institutions to corporations, are discriminating against
How?
whites and white.
When you majority white,
Explicitly
they literally
talk about
how?
it. If you
So-
believe race doesn't matter and that we're all equal and so on, then the Apple Corporation should be 65% white. It's
The
not.
reason why it's not 65% white is not because you're being discriminated against. It's because there's non-whites that are better at tech. He can't actually think that somebody with a tech company would mess with their bottom line just to discriminate against somebody white, right? Them white tears is real. Then they got the nerve to say we be playing victim. Stop complaining and develop your skills like everybody else has to.
Hold up. You said it should be 65% white, but if Apple is saying
tremendously overrepresented.
Because maybe if Asians are going and studying in those sectors, that's why.
Right, but sure, but you're just begging the question.
No, I'm not begging the question. What I'm saying is this here: why are more white?
Why are they? Why are they going into sciences and not? Why are Asians succeeding in science?
I want the Texas,
whereas Africans aren't.
I want the Texas A&M. Why are more whites in agriculture?
We have a natural, tendency to do that. I don't know.
No, you don't. First of all, black people actually out there sitting
Please
picking
don't
cotton.
think black people created agriculture.
No, but we damn sure did the work. But here's my whole point here. Here's my whole point, which I'm trying to get you to understand.
Okay.
If you have more whites who are going into agriculture, again, I'm a Texas A&M University graduate.
I grew up in Texas.
Okay, where?
In Dallas.
Okay, which part of Dallas?
The white part.
Which part? There's a lot of white parts in Dallas.
Just Preston Hollow.
Yeah, I see exactly where your thought process comes from. That's why you have the white country clubs there as well, because they don't want other people in there. But again,
are there black churches, black country clubs?
Are there black churches? No, they have black country clubs where you have black people who play. But also,
aren't there black institutions that are
like
just
what?
for you?
No, it's not just for us, because the fact of the matter
black
is,
churches, those are just for you guys.
no, actually, no.
That's great.
But actually, no, it's not. because there are black churches where you can come if you want to, doesn't matter. And just like you have a white church, you can come. That's my point, but that's what it is. So you're factually incorrect. Here's my whole point. When I talk about agriculture, there are more whites who are going into agriculture. Why? Because that's the area they're going into. So if Asians are going into a particular area, that's where they're going.
You're begging the question. All I'm saying is, why are Asians succeeding at these technical fields?
They're succeeding because they're putting in the work to learn the skill. Something that you guys have never had to do. At the end of the day, they want it easy. These are the actual people that want the handout while accusing everybody else of that very thing.
Why
they're working in it.
Because again, you're just begging questions. Like at some
No,
point,
why are whites succeeding in agriculture?
Can you let me finish? I'll ultimately get to this. It's about human nature, and it's about their unique gifts. Asians have a
unique gifts.
Yes, East Asians have a higher on average IQ than Europeans. It's remarkable. It doesn't surprise me that they succeed at math. They succeed in science. Oh, that's a terrible stereotype.
No, I'm not using stereotypes.
It is what it is.
All I'm saying is here, Richard. The fact of the matter is here.
This is actually why I would want to restrict immigration of East Asians. It's not because I think I'm afraid of them. I actually respect them. I respect their civilization. It's about protecting my people. That's what it's about.
But here's the people. When you keep saying my people, then you say all Americans when you're not talking about it. Here's the reality, Richard. The reality is here.
You have to navigate between people you care about and all.
I got you. Here's the deal, Richard. We're not going anywhere. And see, Richard, it's about to be a little tough for you. About to be a little tough for you, Richard, because see, you and your people have had a great head start. Tremendous head start. 20-odd Africans arriving in 1619.
Who gave us this head start?
One second. 16. But see, that's what I'm saying. When you have a head start, that means you're scared to compete. See, I know some other whites out there who are not white nationalists, who are not afraid of competition, who are not afraid of this. But here's the reality. We're not going anywhere.
Right.
And you might want to suck that up. And I know it's rough. But I suggest what you should be doing, Richard, is preparing your generation for a world of competition where you have to where you don't get the head start your mom and daddy gave you, that you're going to start maybe not 80 yards ahead, but 30. But you know what? You may want to train harder because we're training harder and we're going to catch up.
We're going to win. And also,
you're not going to win,
Mr.
Richard.
Martin, I want to tell you, you've got to prepare yourself. You've dealt with a bunch of guilt-ridden, silly whites all your life, and we are waking up. We are recognizing who we are, and we see an amazing future.
Richard,
so you better get ready.
I'm going to tell you right now, Richard, here's the deal. 1619, 20-odd Africans arrived, Fort Comfort, Virginia. Okay, 1619, 397 years ago. Trust me, we're resilient. We're not going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you right here, and as my frat brother Vertner Woodson Tandy said, 1937, we will fight until hell freezes over, and then we will fight on the ice. You better go work out, because you got to fight on your hands.
I'm going to end it with this, because I hear this a lot. Well, CJ, doesn't everybody want the best for their race of people? Of course they do. But the key difference is this. Whiteness is rooted in white supremacy. And that white supremacy comes with the violent exclusion and oppression of other marginalized groups. While everybody else's race to the top, it simply doesn't. I'm out.